Good evening, folks. Can I tell you, I don't like feeling hatred. And I've had to process that feeling of hatred over the last 24 hours. When I first heard that North Ogden Mayor and Utah Army National Guard Major Brent Taylor had been killed in Afghanistan, my heart ached for the loss of a fellow National Guard soldier, of a friend, of someone that I knew, someone that I had a connection with. When soon into that news broadcast that I had heard, or it was revealed that he had been killed by an insider attack by one of the actual Afghan soldiers that he was training and mentoring, my feelings quickly escalated into a very unhealthy thought pattern of anger and rage and hatred. I felt hatred for this individual, and that was pretty hard for me. I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling mad at all. I don't like feeling anger. I don't like being upset. And I had all of these incredible emotions that were they were boiling. I mean, they went from cold to rapid fire boiling in a matter of mere moments. And they lingered, they stayed. And I had a hard time dealing with my heart and with my thoughts because of what I was feeling. How do you deal with that? How do you deal when something has caused you to feel such an intense feeling that you don't like what you're feeling? How do you process that? How do you move forward? I'd be honored if you would chime in and share some thoughts of what you do when something has got you so upset that has got you feeling rage or anger or even hatred like I was feeling. How do you process that? What is it that you do to allow those feelings to go? Because can we just maybe agree that hatred is not a good feeling to have, no matter what the reason? And actually, we don't have to agree with that. But that is something that I feel, that there are not reasons for hatred in this world, because it's hatred that causes so many of the problems that this and so much of the violence is caused by hatred. So here I am. I'm feeling things that are not good feelings, and so I have to process those. And so here's a little bit of something that I went through, and maybe you'll find something that will be helpful for you. And I hope that maybe you have something that'll be helpful for me. So the first couple of hours were really quite, they simply were emotional. I cried pretty hard, and that anger and that hatred just kept boiling. There was a few times I found myself, I actually slammed my fist down on the kitchen table where I was watching the news, and it was tough. Yeah, it was tough to be able to feel that. Time went on. I had things to do. I had a project I was working on. Had an event, a veterans event, as I shared last night, that I had to get ready to go to, and my mind's just swirling. Ironically, I spent the morning working with the Run to Remember to raise funds for service animal dogs that Dan and Mandy Durham and the Cache Valley Veterans Association are putting together. And then to have this happen with Major Taylor, and then to go to the Requiem last night. That may not be the right term for it, but the music by the American Festival Chorus to talk about war and the human heart. And so right in the middle of this, I'm dealing with these intense feelings of anger and hatred. And they weren't going away. The emotions settled down a little bit, but there was still that intense feelings that I didn't like inside. One thing that was a gift for me was going to that veterans concert last night. The music and the program that was shared by the American Festival Chorus served as a balm of Gilead for me, and it brought a spirit of peace, a spirit of contrite, a spirit of healing, a spirit of love from God. As I listened to the stories and the music of different eras from the past to the present, sacred music that brought a feeling of peace and a feeling of hope and a feeling of healing. And then today is Sunday, my friends. For many people and for myself, it's a Sabbath day. It's a day of worship. It's a day of rejuvenation. It's a day to try to turn my thoughts a little more to God and to a higher power. And as I tried to do that through the day, and recognizing all of my own weaknesses and particularly this anger and this hatred that I've been processing, I come to realize something. And it wasn't new, but it came to me at that moment. And when it came to me, those feelings went away. There wasn't anything that I could do about what had happened. And having those feelings in my heart wasn't allowing me to do anything to move forward in my own healing, let alone be able to bring healing or offer healing to anyone else. We are a military family. We have been through loss in combat of those that we love 2 times before. First with my neighbor and friend, Michael Allred from here in Hyde Park, who was killed in 2004. And then my brother in arms from when I was in Iraq, Sergeant First Class Ronald Wood, who was killed when he was part of the unit I was part of while we were over there. We've got 3 boys in the military, 1 in the Army, 1 in the Marines, 1 in the Air Force. 2 of those have been deployed to combat zones. Cody went to Iraq and Clint went to Afghanistan. And those, I think about them, and I think if I'm dealing with all of these hard feelings, how can, if need be, as a dad, how can I be a strength for my boys who may need to process these feelings now or at some future time? And then that's when the gift of peace from God came. I don't know how it works, my friends, but I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe in that role that they have as creators, and the role that they have as the Prince of Peace, the healer. Jesus Christ is the healer of all mankind, and today that is something that I'm grateful for. My own thoughts I had to process, my own feelings I had to process, and those were pretty difficult. And there can be ways to do that. Talking them out loud is one of those ways for me. And some of my feelings I talked about, but I didn't talk about the feelings of anger and hatred. Music is a gift, is for me is a gift to help me to heal, and music that is sacred, patriotic, that touches those emotions in my heart, helps with the healing process. Ultimately, though, that's healing can't come all on my own. That's what I believe, and that's what I've experienced. When I lost my brother Shane to being killed by suicide, I had a level of pain that I never felt before. I didn't have hatred, but I did have some anger, and I had an immense feeling of loss. And the healing that I experienced at that time is similar to what I experienced at this time. And I think they come and they build on each other. When you have healing, a gift that happens in one situation, that gift can come back in another situation. It can come back stronger. And it took me a long time. A long time meaning days of dealing with the loss of my brother. And those before that, peace came, and it first came in a gift at the cemetery when I helped lower Shane's casket into the ground. A gift of peace came from God that removed that incredible burden that I had been carrying. The process of healing continued over the next days, weeks, and months as I share my feelings, as I talk about it, as I write about it, as I speak about it. The same thing's happening here today, but on a much quicker scale. God has granted a gift that has taken that hatred away. It's taken that anger away. There is still a sense of loss. There's still sorrow. There's still questions, but the anger and hate are gone. And that's what I would leave you, my friends, on a day to express gratitude. A Sabbath day, a day of rejuvenation, a day for me, and perhaps for you in your own style, to strive to come a little bit closer to God, how you and I each understand Him. For me, that's coming a little bit closer to Jesus Christ, and that is to feel the gift that He brings through the atonement of Jesus Christ, that peace and that healing. The process will continue. This week will be an emotional week as Brent Taylor, his remains will come into the United States tomorrow sometime. Eventually they'll make their way to Utah and then to his home in North Ogden. There'll be a funeral service. There'll be everything that goes along with that. And then a week from today is Veterans Day. The timing, irony is not lost at all. So, my friends, I look forward to your thoughts and of how you process those feelings. And I see a few of you have weighed in, but at the moment I'm not able to pull up what those thoughts, what your comments are. I'm not able to see them on screen, and so I'll pull them up as we wrap up, and I will. I'll respond. I'll see what thoughts I can offer in return. My friends, there's much to be grateful for. We live in a wonderful country. I will share more about this over the coming few days. And on Tuesday, which is election day here in our country, we'll talk about Brent Taylor's final message to his community and to his country, which connects with what Tuesday is in America. My friends, I love you. Please remember the story you most consistently tell yourself will be because of the actions and habits that follow. That story most consistently told will become the story to most consistently come true in your life. Go tell a great story. Make it a better story. I love you, my friends.